Welcome to the presentation, the Android stream of electronic beats. The presentation's central theme concerns the concept of the singularity.
The technological singularity is a hypothetical event where artificial intelligence becomes capable of redesigning itself into smarter, more powerful machines. It consists of computers, networks, and robots. The average estimate by futurists when this will take place is 2040. The clock is ticking. AI has ramifications concerning man's interrelationship with technology. Humans consistently advance technology without seriously thinking through consequences. This could leave mankind with an existential threat. It is not inconceivable that humans might be reliant on machines being benevolent, similar to how humans treat pets. The singularity has implications about society and what it means to be human. Consider the effect on music. Machines enable humans to compose music in exciting and unusual dimensions. Electronic sounds are ubiquitous since the last great musical revolution. A musical revolution defines and shapes culture. Hip-hop is not just about records, DJs, rappers, turntables and lyrics, but also graffiti, ghetto blasters, breakdancing, Black America. Ultimately, an attitude. What if after the singularity, machines create their own music independent of humans? What would this sound like? Or look like? Is it even possible? Would machines create their own musical heroes like Chopin, Prince, or Aphex Twin? Would they need music at all? Would it be abandoned? After all, music isn't something you need to survive. It is non-essential, yet life at its most beautiful. Herein lies the conundrum. Are robots capable of feelings and emotional intelligence that drives musical creativity? What if robots studied hip-hop and spawned their own version, based on the struggles of computers, punch cards, 8-bit memory, LANs, WANs and Ethernet, perhaps a genre that celebrates the advent of the internet, when AI started to take off and information moved from linear to exponential. If machines did make their own music, would it be different to how it is created today by people, or in this case machines, copying and building on other ideas? What about musical revolutions? Are machines capable of independently creating these? Or is music essentially human? As a thought experiment, it's revealing. It makes you think how music can evolve. And are machines capable of having the same intelligence as humans? If machines are incapable of emotional intelligence and feeling every note and melody of music, are they capable of having real human intelligence? Is the singularity even possible? Will AI always be that? Artificial? Is what's holding back AI an assimilation of EI, or emotional intelligence? The distinction may be wrong. Rather than placing humans and machines on opposite sides, what will continue to take place is convergence. Humans and machines becoming more connected through cyborg-type transformations. Let's delve deeper into this philosophical and technological landscape by taking a short journey. Where did the last musical revolution of electronic music come from? Where is it now, and what is the future? What have been the most important innovations that led to the creation of house and dance music? The sampler is an instrument that records and plays back audio. The first digital sampler appeared in the 60s The ability to quickly sample tracks and instrumentals, then play them back with added bass lines and percussion from drum machines enabled the hip-hop revolution. The Winstons' Amen Brother, a B-side from 1969, is the most sampled track of all time. It contains the most famous 6-second drum instrumental, known as the Amen Break. It helped produce genres of hip-hop and drum and bass. Let's listen to the section of the track containing the drum loop. Here are a few tracks that have used the Amen Break.
Straight out of Compton.
Although it wasn't new, the use of the turntable as an instrument to play by scratching was invented in the 1970s by Grand Wizard Theodore. Herbie Hancock's Rocket in '84 gave inspiration to a generation of turntablists such as Qbert.
Turntable was originally something you walked away from when you put a record on, you know?
Never were supposed to touch it. You know, your parents were like, don't touch the turntable. Don't touch the record. You're going to ruin it.
And I feel that people today are realizing that what they're doing now came from somewhere.
This is basically more or less the bulk of my collection.
It's everywhere. Everywhere you go, people are buying turntables, people are scratching.
Get ready for a lot of fun and excitement.
It's great. This is music I've been waiting all my life to hear, and I didn't know it.
We're just on the brink of something new.
The turntable is a musical instrument as long as you could see it being a musical instrument.
Perhaps the most noticeable instrument for early house music is the Roland TB-303. Originally built for guitarists for practicing without band members, its use would be manipulated for an altogether different purpose. The 303 was only in production for 2 years from 82 to 84. 10 ragas to a disco beat by Charanjit Singh is remarkable in how futuristic it sounds for 1982. The Roland 808 was an electronic drum machine that enabled hip-hop and house artists to come up with drum patterns without the need for other equipment. Because its kick drums, snares, hi-hats and hand claps sounded so artificial, it gained cult status. The sounds became inimitable with non-electronic instruments. Arthur Baker calls it the rock guitar of hip-hop.
Dance music in that early part of the 80s was really changing.
The new musical movements, they come with new instruments.
Your music gotta sound hard and aggressive.
That machine just has a magic button on it.
It redefined music.
Techno-pop, house, your Miami bass, your Rio, your Valley funk, and even faster with the drum and bass.
Planet Rock sort of just did something else too. We had never heard anything like that before.
That bass had so much punch and so much force.
What's the bass line of Planet Rock? It's doom, doom, doo-doo-doom, doom. There doesn't have to be a tune. There can just be noise.
It's time to chase your dreams. Up out your seats, make your body sway. Socialize, get down, let your soul. Don't you get it shaking now. Go ladies, it's a living dream. Love, life, live. Come play the game, our world is free. Do what you want, but scream.
The rhythm of an 808 has its own internal groove.
Any record that's made with a real 808 has a certain feel that you just can't reproduce.
You see the speaker going. I see 808, that's
It's the most futuristic thing I ever heard. Like, what? A drum inside a machine?
It's crazy to think that a little machine like this left such an important footprint in the music. Yeah.
808 changed the motherfucking world.
8 rocks to the planet rock. Don't stop. Paris rocks to the planet rock. Don't stop. Shirley rocks to the planet rock. Don't stop. Manhattan rocks to the planet rock. Don't stop. The Bronx rocks to the planet rock. Don't stop.
Where are we now? Here is a family tree of electronic music presented through an old school Flash website. It shows how electronic music evolved through the 70s, 80s and 90s. How many more musical revolutions are possible? Since the advent of electronic musical instruments, there have been a plethora of genres and subgenres. Can we discover more? Are we destined to regurgitate old styles with new fashions in a kind of Nietzschean eternal recurrence? Take the genre of dubstaz, a mixture of jazz and dubstep. Is this really new? How many more times will revolutionary equipment be invented that has such an impact on how music sounds? If this is where we are now, what happens in the future? Do these branches keep on growing? Where do they end? Billy Corgan argues that interesting innovations in rock this century have come from electronica. This makes sense. How much more is possible with a lead, bass, rhythm and drums? Didn't the Beatles already do all that? Will electronic music reach the same saturation? Are we already there? Or will new musical instruments present more varied sonic capabilities? What are the instruments of the future? The annual Guthman Musical Instruments competition seeks the next generation of musical instruments. Here is a sample of some current musical innovations. However transformative these instruments may be, are they unique enough to create revolutions? Perhaps we need smarter computers to evolve music further. Perhaps we're waiting for the singularity.
This presentation was brought to you by Androids of the Future, Module 2016.